Loser by Jerry Spinelli. Chapter 30. Zinkoff. After the snow day comes the weekend, and by Monday much of the snow is gone. It remains only in the shadows and corners and north-facing surfaces of the town, and on the edges of large parking lots where the plows have shoved the snow into small gray mountains. The temperature is up to the low 50s, warm for December, and in gutters and alleys all over town water trickles toward sewers and drains. Best of all, Monday is in-service day at Monroe Middle School. There's something special about playing just outside the school doors while all the teachers have to be inside. Kids are swarming. Hockey on the parking lot, football and soccer on the fields, goofing off all over the balmy weather. Under a canopy of arching footballs, two kids, Tuttle and Bounce, are having a discussion. Tuttle is pointing. See him? That kid, there. He's pointing to a kid in a yellow baseball hat. Yeah? Watch this. Tuttle calls for a ball. He spins the ball in his hand. He fingers the laces. Watch. He shows to the kid. Hey, yo, here you go. He winds up and fires a trim spiral at the kid. The kid reaches out with both hands as if he's about to take a baby from someone's arms. The ball passes neatly through the kid's hands and drills him in the chest. The kid's hat flies off. He staggers backward, almost falling. He scrambles to retrieve the ball and hat. Tuttle and Bounce share the chuckle of the superior athlete among the underblessed. What a spaz, says Bounce. Look at him. He throws like a girl. He throws like a baby girl. Who is he? Says Bounce. Who knows, says Tuttle. They watch as the kid calls, reaches out for someone to pass another ball to him. Finally, someone does. This time the ball bounces off his head. Again, his hat goes flying. Tuttle and Bounce crack up, howling. Tuttle calls, Yo, Hobbin! Come here! Hobbin joins them. Watch this, says Tuttle. Tuttle calls for a ball and does what he did before. He whips a hard one at the kid in the yellow hat. Again the kid reaches out, and again the ball passes through his hands and nails him in the chest. Hobbin doesn't seem amused. He sneers. Coulda told ya. The three of them watch as the kid this time tries to punt the ball back to them. On his first try, his foot misses the ball altogether. On his second try, the ball travels some 10 feet in the air. So who is he? Says Bonds. His name's Zinkoff, says Hobbin. He went to my school. He's nobody. Yeah, but didn't you hear about him? It's Jansky who has joined the group. Hear what? Says Bonds. About the little girl that got lost the other night? Yeah, this kid goes out looking for her, right? So they find her, like just a little while after she got lost. The others nod. So the little girl is home and all, and everybody else goes home. The search is over, okay? But this kid, he nods towards the kid in the yellow hat. Zinkoff? Says Bonds. Yeah, he don't know it. The search is over and he don't know it. The four of them turn to look at the kid. Bond says, The little girl is home all safe and found, and he's still out looking for her. Jansky grins into Bonds' face. He says it slowly. 4, 7 hours. Turtle shrieks. 7 hours? 7 hours. Jansky repeats. A snowplow found him at 2 o'clock in the morning. Almost ran him over. He was 2 miles from home. Bond stares at the yellow-hatted kid. He again is trying to punt a ball. He must have been half dead. You must have been half stupid, says Tuttle. How stupid is that? Look until 2 o'clock in the morning for somebody that's already found? Hobbin sneers. Coulda told ya. Was he froze? Says Bonds. Jansky shrugs. What a wipeout, says Tuttle. Should have seen him field day in 4th grade, says Hobbin. Yeah, says Tuttle. Bad, huh? Hobbin doesn't not answer. They all stare at the kid who is now running this way and that, trying to entice someone to throw him a ball. They try to picture how bad it was. And he likes school. He goes early. Everyone turns to stare at Hobbin, who has spoken these words. They keep staring at him, waiting for him to say he was kiddin', but Hobbin says nothing else. They turn their attention back to the kid in the yellow hat, who seems not to know he's being stared at. At last, Bond says, Let's get a game. Everybody breaks from the trance. Yeah. Tuttle calls, Game! Game! Kids who want to play come running. Teams are chosen. Tuttle and Bounce are the captains. They flip fingers for the first pick. Tuttle wins. Hobbit, he says. Jansky, says Bounce. They go on choosing sides. Tuttle's here, Bounce is here, until the only one left is the kid in the yellow hat. But The sides are even. Tuttle and Bounce have each chosen 7 kids. Yellow Hat is a leftover. But this kid's not acting like a leftover. A normal leftover would see that he's one too many at that everybody put him but him has been picked, and that therefore he must be pretty hopeless, and therefore he better just get on out of there and go play something he's good at, like Monopoly. But this kid just stands there. He shows no sign of turning and vanishing, and he's not just standing there, he's staring at Tuttle and Bounce. Tuttle says, "We got enough." So now the kid is just staring at Bounce, and Bounce wants to say, "We got enough," but he can't seem to say it. He wishes the kid would just turn and go away. Doesn't he know he's a leftover? Hobbin's voice rings out from the other side. Tackle! They usually play two-hand tag, but there are no pads, no helmets, and half the field is muddy from the melted snow. But no one objects. No one wants to appear to be afraid to play tackle. Jansky speaks. The sides are even up. We don't need nobody else. The kid does not take the hint. This is uncharted territory. A leftover? Who won't go away? Still, Bonds holds the power. All he has to do is open his mouth. Please go, he thinks. The kid is staring at Bonds. The kid really is stupid. The kid does not know that even if he's allowed in, he's only going to get ignored or embarrassed or hurt. He doesn't know that he's a klutz, doesn't know he's out of his league. Doesn't know a leftover doesn't stare down a chooser. Doesn't know he's supposed to look down at his shoes or up at the sky and wish he could disappear because that's what he is, a leftover, the last kid left. But this kid won't back off, and his stare is hitting Bounce like a football in the forehead. In those eyes, Bounce sees something he doesn't understand, and something else he dimly remembers. It occurs to him that he wants to ask the kid what it was like. Those 7 hours? He thinks he must be able to see them in the kid's eyes, some sign of them, but he cannot. He wants to ask the kid what it was like being that cold. This is goofy, he thinks. He thinks of 1,000 things to say, 1,000 other ways this could go. But in the end, there's really only one word. He knows that. One word from him, and who knows where we could go from there. He points. He says it. Zinkoff. And the game begins.